Seniac, name my university. Everyone, Fish University. Me. I can't wait to go to FU. Seniac, I can't believe I said underground bridge. Also, Seniac says underground tunnel. Bro, just name the university Fish University. It's perfect. This is a tutorial on how to get your comment in Seniac's video. Step 1. Say he's not going to add it to the video. Step 2. Add your message. Step 3. Hope you're lucky and sees your comment. Seniac. Underground tunnel. Me. Am I dreaming right now? Or is this even real? Guys! Welcome back to another episode of FishTown here in City Skylines. Guys, last episode we added in our very first university. Because the peeps needed that higher education and we gave it to them, and hopefully they can now become more educated. They can learn all about the different types of fishes, the different species, and all that kind of jazz. And hopefully it makes them a little bit smarty, a little bit smarty, a little bit smarter. And things evolve for us in FishTown. And hopefully we can make more money out of those peeps in general. A lot of the industry does need those higher educated people, and obviously we won't have to expand some of the buildings, some of the regions to its maximum until we do get those higher educated people. But today, boys, we are going to look at also in other ways in which we can connect the other islands. Now, we added in some new ferry routes. So we got two new ones, sorry. One going back and forth just here, dodging the little coral reef. And another one that does the, back and forth between all 4 stops, which is pretty damn sweet. And it is being used quite heftily. Hefty? Today, guys, I can't even English. Yeah, so we have quite a few passengers. Now, the sardine to humpback one is the lower one being used right now. And that's only because it stops off over here on the humpback island. But there's really not much going on at the moment. So until I build up this area a little bit more, we're just going to see this kind of little deficit where there's not too many people traveling back and forth. But doing the full loop, there's still quite a few people doing it there. I have noticed as well, when it comes to some of the bus routes, there's a lot of people waiting. So I might need to up the amount of buses on some of the routes. And but yeah, it's pretty interesting. So what I want to do today then, well, I want to build the bridge that's going to go across here to connect up this island, set the road layout going up, which will eventually bridge across here and connect up to this road there. So we have a nice big beautiful bridge that goes all the way around. And I've been thinking as well about, do I create a road connection between these two? Now, there is a way I can do it. I'm not 100% sure just yet because I don't know how much traffic is going to generate. But basically, what I could do is I can readjust this road here so it comes slightly straight and then goes underground to build a tunnel. Okay, see how I worded that? And then it will pop out just here and connect to this little junction here to create a 4-way crossroad. So that bit there goes underground and it'll connect there. That's one way in which I can do it. Or alternatively, I build a big bridge, but then it will destroy a lot of those buildings. Or I could not have a road connection, keep it to the ferry line and have them, the consequences. If you want to go over here and you don't use a public transport and you want to drive, you got to go the long way round. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But we don't really have any industrial demand just yet to expand. Ooh, are we now... This is the academic year for University Campus of FishTown, which we got renamed to Fish University. It's now renowned. Oh, hold on a second. If it's now renowned... Oh, no, it's like prestigious, the next one, isn't it? I think so. But it needs more students before we can go any higher anyway. But let me just rename this to Fish University. And it was FU for short, which I find hilarious. Fish University. Nice. I thought to myself, Fish University? That sounds like quite a boring name. And then when you do the abbreviation, FU, oh, it's glorious. It's glorious. So yeah, we don't really have any demand for industrial just yet. But when I build this bridge and then we give them the ability to drive back and forth to Humpback Island, I know it's quite a long way there, but that's the consequence by not using our ferry system. You pay to do the short route. We'll see what kind of demands change at that point, which will be, it will be quite interesting. So, let's get this set up then, and I think what I'll do before I connect any of this, maybe we can set up the bridge line first. So I'm going to use one with the trees, and if I kind of just pick like a little point of it to there. Now, just bear with me a second. I'm just placing this down there. so I can understand where the straight line is going to be. So I just delete back there. I now know where the straight line is for both islands. Just there anyway. So I want it not to... Well, I kind of want it to be center to the island, but at the same time I don't want it to be center because I want to expand a little bit over there. I might even merge these two together, and that's where we'll have our runway for our airport. I don't know. We'll see how things go. And then for this here, we're going to have to now move some of this stuff. So I'm going to move you to there. Let me just pause a second while I do all this real quick. Just move you there. Does it have... It has the water. Power. It has the power. So just moving those so then I can upgrade this road to that. Or I might have to then start turning and angling this road, to be honest with you. But if I pick a nice little spot and I say here is where the bridge is going to go across. So if I bring that to there, and then what I do is just delete that to there. Just so I know where the angle is going to be. Actually, do you know what? It's not going to work. Right, what I'll do is... There we go. We'll create our own bend just there. And then where does... Oh, no, that's too much of a bend. Right, I should have zoomed out a little bit to kind of see it. Okay, we'll come off from that little junction there because it's a little bit further back. And if I go bam like that... And brought that to... There. Right. Now delete back a bit. Oh, actually, you know what? I just realised I can't do it like that either. Because that means the bridge is bending. Oh, Seniac, what are you doing right now? Come on, boy. Get it together. Right, we'll go to there. There we go. Now bring it to there. And that is the bridge at the moment. Like the natural bridge it builds. But we'll cut it back a little bit. Because we'll create our own little version. There we go. And then we've got to get pretty much this road now connecting up to here. So if I went straight with this one, and we'll bring it to there. And if I brought this up to just there, and then somehow we'll get these connected, which it won't happen the way I want it to. So what we'll do is we'll get I'll do a straight connection like that. And then we come off by 2 on each one. Probably more on this one there. And then we'll get into connect. So which is the shorter one? That's 23. That's 24. So we'll go 23 by 24. That's fine. And then this one is... yeah, that'll work. So that becomes the road that cuts through that little line in there, the main structure road. And it's also used as a main bypass to get to the other island. So that slight little bend that comes off there is enough to kind of bring us over. So, right. This is now going to be the interesting part then. So I want to create it as a bridge. And we'll bring it out. Okay, so we'll bring it up by... Right, I want to bring it up by 15, and we'll do that 15 up, 15 across to start to... Whoa, what happened there? Squeeze me. Right, let me do the same here. So 15 across, 15 up. So it does it a little bit weird, but I feel like what I'll do is we'll select that and then angle it from there to there. So we get a gradual incline, which is better. Do the same here. Oh, I deselected it. You fool. You freaking fool, you. Right, from there to there. And then that should then be... That's actually quite a nice little bridge. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, it should be high enough for them boats to go under. I'm not sure when we're going to have boats going under it, but that's pretty glorious. That's pretty glorious. And then we have one here as well and connect it all up. Oh, it's going to be so damn good. It's going to be so damn good. So let me do the same thing here then. So Out by 15, up by 15. Just there. Same bit here. Boom. Bam, 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 bam. Angle it there to there. Nice. There to there. Nice. And then straight across. That's a nice, glorious bridge as well. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. So then the argument you make then is like, yo, Sediak, you know, you're going to have this big downtowny vibe area here, and eventually the same over on that side, and you don't do a connection there of a bridge. Well, that's it, guys. It's like an invisible toll booth that the government knows it exists, but the residents don't. And what I mean by that is, you can drive around here for free to get there, it's fine. But you got to pay to go on the ferry to cross. Now, that's our makeshift toll booth. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go the shorter route on a car, you got to go through a toll booth. That's what we're kind of doing, but through a ferry line. And the residents don't see that. They just see public transport. But we see an invisible toll booth, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head anyway. Right, okay, so. Now we need to get up to this road here. Now, everywhere else I've done single lane connections apart from this one, so it should still be okay. I'm gonna just bring it a little bit closer. I'll bring it up by, yeah, we'll bring it up by 6. That's fine. And I'll pause again right now in case I do mess this all up. And we're gonna get a connection there, and we're gonna get a connection there. Now it is hovering the road, so bring them down to normal. Bend that way. Oh, that's actually not too bad, is it? It's not too bad. And then you go that way. Can I just do it like this? There we go. Easy enough, right? Easy enough. And then we'll see what happens then. So we aren't doing anything like additional. We now have connected up Humpback Island to the main island. So one, it'll be interesting to see how much traffic we get off this. This is why I don't want to straight away build a tunnel from there to there. Because if it turns out, like, which I probably know it will, but if it creates a ton of demand for vehicles, you know, that little area here is not designed for that amount of traffic. So it'll be interesting to see what the bridge that we just created does. Even though it's a long version and not many people are going to use it. Like, I say not many people are going to use it, you know, because they'll just jump on the ferry. We still get quite a few people use it anyway. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of demands we get from it. Now, we'll fast forward. And I'll see ultimately how many vehicles go along. Now, I don't know if we're just going to have a lot of vehicles use it because they were in a certain lane and they just accidentally turned off and then, you know, they're pretty much stuck in their routes. But it does look like a fair few people are going to use it, which is quite promising, to say the least. We've got this big bunch of vehicles now coming through. How many of them turn right here because they made the wrong turning? And then they turn right there. Yeah, all of them vehicles there made the wrong turn. Oh, because their lane dictation was already set in that way. So they're going to turn around now and then go back across the bridge. I think quite a few vehicles are doing that, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. Right, I'll get rid of the traffic lights just here for just a moment. Just so I can have the vehicles flowing through. That's funny, that is. That's real funny. So, yeah, they'll sort their lanes out anyway before they get over there. So, it's all good. It's all good, boys. So, yeah, the islands are now connected up then. And which makes it a lot easier for the Fish University people to get there if they don't have the money for the public transport. But it'd be interesting to see how this area now kind of starts to grow. If it does expand a little bit more with the buildings. If we start to get an industrial demand. I don't know. But what it's ultimately done anyway is set us up to be able to build on this island. Now I'm thinking I'm going to reclaim the little bit of lake here. Well, river. If it's called a river, I don't know. To merge these two islands together. Because it's got a nice pointy peninsula bit there. Which will be perfect for a runway for an airport. That sounds pretty good. And I can use this side, this road here, to be a boundary between whatever we build over here, and on this side, like the tourist hotspot where the hotels are, the beaches, wherever everybody comes and stays in those rented villas and apartments. That can be a tourist hotspot to go along with this one as well, because that's in the downtown area. But this is where everybody stays in their hotels, which would be quite nice. Nice golden beaches overlooking the Coral Bay area. Ooh, that would be pretty good. That would be pretty good. But we still have a little bit of space anyway to plant down some residential. So I'm going to fill this little section here with residential right now, which backs on to the little beach area. And then just like what we did over here, we'll paint small little tiles. As we have a couple of beach areas and, you know, whatnot we can throw down. There we go. Has it all got water? Yeah. So, you know, like we've got these little residential buildings here and whatnot, little beachfront properties. It's like our very own version of Malibu. I like it. I like it a lot. So that'll bring down a little residential demand that we slightly had just there. Then up a little bit more commercial. And we should really be thinking about more commercial in these little hotspots as well. So we'll go with, now that's all high density, so I think we'll go with some low density commercial, like places around the aquarium just there, to kind of bring more of the shoppers in. And that really bulks up that area. I've got to take a look at these bus routes as well, because that's a big must. I mean, let me check like the road here, how many people are going through. So, I mean, there is quite a few vehicles passing through, so there definitely is some use for it. Does the roundabout manage fine? Yeah, I feel like this is good, man. We've got this set up really well. And how is the Squid Junction? I think that also is set up wonderfully as well. It like does its job perfectly. And I'm going to get rid of these traffic lights there. Keep the vehicles flowing through. There's a lot of pedestrians. I've just noticed that. How far does these traffic lights go? I'm sure I turned them all off. I don't know, but there is a lot of pedestrians walking about. But that could be just solely going to the subway line and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So, what does our public transport now look like? 300 people using the boats. That's actually gone up. More people using the buses. So let's take a look at the bus routes anyway. So let's start with bus line 4 here. So there is... yeah, there's quite a few there. So it's already got 18 buses on. So I'm going to up it to 20 buses just to help those guys out slightly. Then this next bus line here, there's not too many on it. Or waiting around. So having 6 buses is perfect for those guys. It's this black line right now, which I know there's quite a lot of people waiting for at some of the bus stops. Yeah, look at the amount of people. There's 21 buses and they're all filled up. So we're going to have to up this to... I'm going to up it to 30 buses. To try and get some more dents into the amount of people. Because this one goes on the longest route. This one goes all the way up to the park area. It does a really long loop. So even 30 might not be enough. Alright, put it up to 34. Oh, hold on, I'm not even scrolling the right thing. So where does that release all the buses? At what section in the line? It's just here a load of buses have been released. And I go pick a load of people up too. So we'll see how that one ticks along. The Carperton Loop also has a lot of people. So I'm going to up this to 15 buses. It is a lot of buses. This is where... you know, you start thinking then, Yosemite, a bus is the right thing to do at this point in this area. Maybe having some trams running down, or maybe something, maybe do more subway lines might be a better option. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the increase in buses. So the Loop B has quite a few people using it as well. So we're up into just 10 buses. So an extra 3 buses might satisfy all of those needs, especially in the big bulky stops just there. And then the New Harbour Loop as well This has, if anything, too many buses. So I'm going to bring that down to 11 buses. We've got way too many buses than what we need right now, and that should be fairly good. So it will take a few minutes and a couple of cycles of the bus loops to, you know, pretty much be underway before they're spaced more evenly. We don't have a load of buses backing up to each other on the each of the stops. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes there. This car park's nice and full. Bus dropping off, people go in. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So that will then hopefully increase the amount of people using the buses, which, yeah, it's about to break 1,000 people for the first time. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? And how many people are over here waiting right now? It's these two lines here, man, but it's because it's the connection between the ferry line. But there's a bus coming every so often, so hopefully, you know, it can slowly put a dent into it. Worst case scenario, we have to switch it up for something a little bit more heavy. So we might have to look at getting some trams or something like that. So, I mean, a trolley bus. What's the capacity of a trolley bus? I'm going to have to check out my advanced vehicle options. I mean, I could up the capacity on the buses themselves, but that's not really solving my issue. So, bus. Where's the trolley bus? Passenger train, cable car. Let me just type in trolley bus. Has a capacity. Oh no, you can't even set the capacity. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh yeah, but what I was going to look at as well though is the trams. You can do 2-lane roads, so we could even have trams. I could use trams to replace some of the bus routes. Now, by looking at this, the blue loop might be a good one to replace with trams. Should we give it a go? I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? Okay, let me pause it. And let me replace then 4-lane with trolleybus wires. No, I want the tram track ones. And if I do it where it comes down here and then goes around the outskirt and then comes back down there, that makes sense. So we'll see how many or how much stuff it kind of deletes. But by having the trams, it's a little bit more higher capacity than buses. And then technically, if you think about it, it's then less vehicles on the road. So if I bring it to there, and then that's when we have to come to the single lane. Is that the tram track road? Is that 1 lane, 2-lane road? So I'm gonna have to anarchy this in. There we go. So this then becomes a tram track road as well. So we have the trams pushing by. Right, anarchy. Oh, I can't anarchy that there. Now that's because that is connected to that, isn't it? Yeah, so if I unhook that, I can then upgrade it to that. And this goes all the way to the end. So this will be quite interesting to see how this is going to add to it. Now I'll put it into play mode just so all the bus stops that I just taken over get rejigged up. And it's that blue loop I want to get rid of, which is this one, the Carpenton Loop A, which has 232 passengers using it. So we'll get rid of it. It's now gone. Sad times. Sad times. And then that's now where I'm thinking that I just kind of replace the bus stuff in general. Like the red loop here I can replace with trams. This light blue loop I can replace with trams. But I can't quite replace the black loop just yet. So do you know what? We'll do that. So the red one is now a goner. And the light blue one is a goner too. So then all we have is the light green one, which goes down to there. Fine. We have the black loop. Fine. And you have this little blue loop on the Humpback Island as well. So we might as well upgrade the rest of these roads then. So for the red one, we'll go up to here, that one there, all the way along. Is that wonky, that road? Or is it just the angle? Oh no, it's on a slope. So I thought that was a little bit weird then. So yeah, we've got that one set up. And okay, so let's do the next one then. So we go up to here. Down this way. Alright. I might just keep Anarchy on for the bits that don't quite work. All the way up. And where the road is only connected to there with the electrical grid. So if I bring it up to here. So I have to extend it a little bit further. Or not to... Or not. Yeah, we will. Okay, we'll upgrade this. There's a little bit just there I can't grab. Come on, boy. So that becomes that next loop there. Right. Okay. And then, where did it turn in? It turned in here. So then we have another loop that comes down. Which this will be passed up to here. So it's a good way to kind of intertwine it connected to that ferry loop as well. We'll bring it down to here. Yeah, and then we'll have it run then down here. So we still get to keep our 2-lane road. It's just we lose the trees on it, if that makes sense. So let me set... Oh, actually, I need to drop in the tram depot. So the tram depot would need to go on to... Well, it can go anywhere, to be honest with you, can't it? It just needs to be on a road that's connected to the tram line. Right, let me have a quick look again. So what's this here? This is our fish market. How big is the building? I feel like I should move this fish market. I'm just going to put it there for just a split second. While I squeeze the tram line in. Just there so it connects to the junction. So it doesn't create an awkward junction there. Move this back. Okay, let me put the Anarchy back on. Off, sorry. To there. So we do get a little bit of a strip there. And I'll just drop down quickly right now some concrete to fill the gap. There we go. There we go. So, back to business. Let's set up the first original loop then. And it's going to start... We'll start it here. So it'll come down to there and it will be between the bus stops as well, which will be perfect for us. And that will come down to here, which then this will stop. Can we not stop it in the same bus stop here? So it looks like we can't, which is fine. So we'll stagger them. So there's one there. We'll stop this one there. That one there. That one there. Just there. Just here. And then that finishes that loop up there. Now we can do one go in the opposite way, which is another way in which we can double up on the capacity of that network, because we only did one loop going in one direction for the buses. At least this one, right? Oh, it stopped there, then it stopped here. Has going an alternative route, like the opposite way round. So this means we can have double the trams, double the capacity. In a way, anyway. So you can see the purple line now going around. That's the first little loop, which is pretty sweet. And then our secondary loop, so we'll, again, and we'll start it here. So create the line there. We'll then stop off here. Stop off there. Stop there. Stop there. Stop just there. Here. There. And it will stop with the buses just here. Stop with the buses just here. And there's no bus stop there, is there? No. So then it comes into the same stop as the other tram one, so it's a good little transfer spot. It hit all the same ones going around, and it connects up back here. Now, for now, we'll keep that in a one single lane direction, or should we do one going the opposite way as well? I feel like each one we're doing should be going the opposite way. So really I can then maximize our trams. So I don't think, do you know what, you're just really weird. I don't think I've ever built a tram system that also incorporates and uses the single lane roads with the trams on. I've never used those before. Now this is going to be interesting for me to see how it works. So it's actually quite exciting. So that is our secondary loop just there. They need the third one going around here. So I'm going to begin it just here. We'll have a stop there. Have a stop there. Have a stop there. I'll put this stop on the corner. Actually, no, I won't put it on the corner. I'll put it here. There. And this will then follow down to our bus stops, which connects to this third line as well. Bam, bam, bam. And it connects to the other line. So this third line connects to both lines, like how the other one connects. So each line overlaps each of the other lines, if that makes sense. So you could get pretty much anywhere in the city on the same freaking tram line, which is amazing. Alright, then that's there. 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 And finally there. So that's 6 tram loops in total. So let's put into play mode for a second, just so then bus stops can be hooked back up again. So this little depot is going to be busy for quite some time right now as it pumps out all of the trams needed. But once they're up and running, we have a solid, dedicated system right now. So this is actually quite exciting to see it all come into fruition. So a lot of the buses right now are now returned to depot. So we're going to see some traffic jams as, because I deleted all those routes, the bus routes, the buses have to return. But that's okay. All the trams are going to come out. It'll take a while for the trams to come out, which might also cause some traffic issues. But look at the amount of people now waiting over on this side for the trams. Holy moly. Which is quite exciting. So there's the tram stops there either side of the road. Ah, that's why you can't combine them to a bus stop then, because of how it works on a single lane road. Okay, I gotcha. But there's still quite a few people that want to use the black bus line as well, which is quite interesting. Right, where's that depot gone again? Sorry, still pumping the people out. So in terms of public transport then, we was over 1,000 on the buses. It is going to now dramatically reduce because I got rid of quite a few lines. But now we should start to see a increase on the tram line. And it might increase the other lines, to be honest with you, like the subway or the boat line, the ferry line, because we're able to reach more people with the tram line. And then get people pushing and moving around. So this is quite exciting. And it's energy efficient and eco-friendly, the trams. Are the trams eco-friendly? I think they are. I mean, it's just electric, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Right. So what's good as well is the tram lines, the bus lines, and the subway lines are all together. So switching between the lines is really easy for a, what they called? What they freaking call right now? A commuter, not a pedestrian. A passenger. There we go. I knew it began with a P. So we do have a little bit of a death wave right now. So what is going down? Death care boy. We have the capacity and whatnot. There's nothing to do with pollution, is there? Let me just quickly check the pollution. Where's pollution? No. Where are we pumping the water? I always forget where they're pumping the water from. Oh, these little water towers over there. No, I think it was just a general death wave, isn't it? It was waiting for the crematorium, the hearses to get over there. Okay. So a capacity of a tram is 90 versus 30 to a bus. So one tram is like having 3 buses pull up at once, which is actually shifting a load of more people around the island than originally. So we're going to see huge boosts go up right now. We might even see it in the boats. So we're almost at 400 in the boats. That's good. 639 people on trams. That's ridiculous. Now, put it this way, right? We had 1,000 people using the buses. We've lost 300 passengers on the buses, but we've gained 700 on the trams. So it just shows you that, yeah, we may have lost some of them, but we haven't. They've just gone into a different type of public transport mode. And if anything, we've gained more passengers with adding those trams in, because we now reach more areas of the city than we didn't do before. So it's got all the trams out right now. That they're all out. Some areas a little bit quieter than others, but that is to be, as obvious, because, it's on the outskirts of some of the quieter areas. Okay, but yeah, there is a little bit of a death line around, isn't there? Right, death care. We have the capacity. I just don't feel like we're just picking them up enough, are we? So we might have to add like another crematorium in somewhere. So let me get this. Let's get this on the corner just here. So another one in there just to kind of increase the capacity of the amount of vehicles that are driving around picking up the bodies. So that'll be handy. How many people are waiting over by the boat? We might need to get an additional boat on there, but the boats are already at high capacity themselves. And I think eventually I have to place a... there's a lot of death over here as well. What's going on? Is everyone dying right now? Can you not die, please? I'm trying to build glorious stuff. Right, we'll place a little crematorium just there on the edge of the park to remind people when they're chilling. Death is around the corner. But it also could be as well, because I built this road, a lot of the vehicles are driving ground. So... they're not really staying within their district. But there is that... What is going on? What is our birth to death ratio? There's a way to view it, and I can't remember how you do it. See, there's more births and deaths a week. I just don't feel like we're just picking the bodies up quick enough, are we? No. I mean, they're slowly doing it, but it's just a gradual process. I can see loads of hearses driving around. And we have the capacity for it, which is even more weirder that we have the capacity for it. So it's almost like it's beyond me. What's going on? Right, 316, 320 deceased right now. I might have to build like a slightly bigger... Where's the larger... We have this better crematorium, where it has a capacity of 250. I might have to squeeze one of these in a few little places. Right, let's see. Let's see where I can throw this in. Right, I'm going to get it on the corner of the park here, unfortunately. I need the space. So that's got a better crematorium just there. So hopefully the deceased bodies are going up more than ever. So how many vehicles can a normal one have? 7. The better crematorium has up to 20 vehicles, which... Do you know what I should be doing, really? Is replacing my crematoriums with the better crematoriums. Let me just quickly delete you. They're slightly bigger as well. Place you there. Right, we'll delete you. And place you there. So slightly a little bit bigger, but it's like almost 3 times the capacity of the normal one. So maybe that's what we should have been doing. So we'll give those ones now with... It's like I've just placed down 10 more crematoriums by replacing those 3 better ones down. So we'll give that time to kind of do its thing. But we definitely do have a little bit of a death wave going on. And we're starting to spark a little bit of industry growth as well. Right, where's the crematoriums on here? Because this is so far out the way. Let me just delete you. And delete you real quick. And replace you with better crematoriums. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fit one in the park area now, am I? No, sorry. Right, we'll just squeeze it there instead. So that's like 40 vehicles I can have in this area. Which is a considerable amount as well. A lot of people now parking in the university car park. We're still trying to push that, but we need to move more people to the region before that can go anywhere. And what's the... there we go, now 200. It was in the 300s. It's coming down dramatically now. Look at that. 180, 170, 160. Yeah, that death wave has been solved. Phew. I was not saying I was panicking slightly, but I was low-key slightly panicking. Right. We're going to fill all up this little section now with the low-density residential. And... not too far up to here. I think I'm going to go back to there to there. We'll stagger that because it's going to ruin our little beach. And then, like what we've done here, we'll do little single buildings along this straight bit there. And that will, you know, be utilised quite more by these little trams as well, which is quite exciting. Do you reckon we're making money off the trams? Let's find out. So, trams here. Do you know what? We're only like losing $500. It could be a lot worse. It could definitely be a lot worse. Like how much money we're losing on the buses. That's ridiculous. But yeah, it definitely could be a lot worse. Okay, the deceased right now, we're now down to 100. Still coming down quite nicely, but we're getting there, boys. We slightly solved that one. So, more residential moving in. Which increases the population, increases the amount of people using the services. It's quite exciting. We've managed to put some dents into that. But look at the dents now in here. Right, what I think I might need to do is we go to the shipping lane right now. The ferry line, sorry. And we're going to have to add... You know the yellow one that goes back and forth here? Get them to go back and forth again, but in the secondary slot. So as it's going back, we make them go into this side. And then there we make it go into this side. Right? Which in turn pumps out more boats. And then also gets more people... not just waiting on the one side, they'll then start queuing on this side. Because I've noticed that there is so many people over here that we're never going to tear through that. So having that yellow line also pick up people here and drop them off there is another way that we can get more people in and waiting. But you got to give it a couple of minutes for them to realise and update that new route. But how... yeah, there's now going to be more boats than ever on that route. So you can see a bit of differences between the green and the yellow. And that yellow just dropped off a load of people. This yellow comes in and should drop off a load of people. So you got to do a couple of loops of this before it all updates. It's just another way to get people on and off between the two islands a whole lot quicker. So they're all coming out for the buses. They're all coming out for the trams. And we're just trying to maximise this as much as possible. We're getting there. That's the main thing, isn't it? We're getting there. Oh, there's one person waiting. So it's going to slightly get there, which is pretty cool. How is this one now doing over here then? So there's now people coming on this side as well, which is pretty good. It's exciting, mate. It's really exciting. So what is the public transport like now then at this point? So 600 people, 1,200 we've gained on the trams, which is mental. That's ridiculous. Just under 700 on the buses, so it hasn't really changed much that. So by losing 300 people, we've gained 1,200 on the tram system alone, which would have subsequently added more people to the subway line, which it has, because that was in the 300s, it's now in the 400s. And the ferry line has been solidly staying on 370 for quite some time, but that could just be down to the sheer capacity of boats that we have. We can't obviously transport the people quick enough because you've got to wait for the boats to come in and out. But hopefully with this additional line that we've just now kind of add by extending it, might slightly change it a little bit. We'll kind of see how that goes. But the other ferry line, I mean, it'll pick up in numbers in general anyway, and when all the other ferry lines start having more people on them. And that's when we build up those areas a little bit more. But yeah, not too shabby. We got some nice houses on the seafront. We got a beautiful little, tram system now added in. We built the bridges going across as well, so people can get to the islands pretty easy. Rockfish Park is doing absolutely wonderful. All the vehicles in the car park, loving life right now. Anybody fishing? Yeah, there's loads of people walking around, which is glorious. And we do have a subway stop over here, which is pretty much for all the workers and whatnot. I mean, getting 22 people a week using that, so that's also pretty damn dope. But we've kept the traffic to a minimum. That is the biggest thing that we've got to remember in this. The fact that with the population, with how small this area is, considering we have a big industrial area at the opposite side of the island, that underground highway works wonders. We have no traffic jams. The traffic flow in the whole place right now is 84%. Granted, there's areas in which we can improve. There's always areas in which we can improve. 85% right now. That is ridiculous. And the main kind of contributors to having such a low one, it was 86 for a second, is the industrial areas. So we do need to go on a little bit of expansion for residential and commercial before we get that industrial spark. Because there's only 3% unemployed, which means I don't have enough people living on the island for all the current jobs available. But we will eventually get there. Guys, we're going to end it for here today. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.